First, let me thank you all for staying with us. Put some things into perspective.
Those three facilities, that's a huge improvement. But we are very happy.
Oh, boss.
So the Prime Minister and his team now arriving at Springfield up by the Goodyear, old Goodyear factory, new urban center. He will be taking a tour of Western St. Thomas. So his team, media house, other dignitaries are here right now rolling into the Springfield area.
Oh, got that?
It's impressive.
Yeah, I'd love to go inside here, but I don't know.
No, we can go, you know. Take a look at it. But I spoke to the chairman and he said he was not invited.
No, it's not his tour.
It's not his tour.
It's
No, he knows. But he says he'll be happy if we go and look.
I will take a
He says
peek.
he knows that I know sufficient about it. So we're very happy inside. We're happy with you.
Moonlight as a project manager.
I would
Don't
not
say things like that. Zero conversation for anyone.
First, let me thank you all for staying with us. It is quite unusual that we have the media following us all throughout the tour. The few times I've done this halfway during the tour, the media corps has disappeared. Maybe conditions have improved. I think stay with us till the end. Oh, you got worries with it? No, it is not an easy try. The last time I did it was quite taxing. You have to do it. But it has improved. Alright, you want to just point out or add accommodation? First, just kind of situate where we are. Tell us where.
Hello?
So we are now entering the town.
Yes, I'm well, good here now.
Yes, there are entry points to the Morant urban center. The highway has taken into consideration access to the urban center and the way to go to the urban center. You would have passed down to the bottom there. You have seen a culvert wide along the highway for the urban center. This new drain here, which is a 3 meter new drain, also allows flow from the urban center and as well as pedestrian traffic. At this location, we will have 4 lanes at the moment, with turn lanes going into the urban center with hard medium separators. There is plans of footnote and consideration for rate separated interchange with this and so on. So that's in discussion. A grade separated.
2 levels. 2 levels.
Great.
Flyover.
When you came here earlier, you had mentioned a flyover.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. We just call it grade separated. They're 2 different things, but the terms are used interchangeably. So let me put some things into perspective. So the actual execution of the works from the bridge in the Albion area where we are is being done by subcontractors. Check is the overall, that is China Harbour Engineering Company, is the overall contract. But the works were divided into 15 packages and they were subcontracted to local contractors. Now the works are not all contiguous, meaning 1 to 15 is not sequential. That you may have package number 1 here, package number 2, and then there's nothing in package 3. You may have package 5 and then nothing again. And it is done that way, as explained to me by the technical experts, that if it were done sequentially, the conditions would be far worse. It would mean that you would have no stretch of road that you could drive on that is not disturbed. So they had to do it in a disjointed way. Doing it that way as well lengthens the time it takes to complete. Now, the pace of work on this stretch from Albion going all the way around to Port Antonio has not proceeded as to how we would have liked. And there are many issues involved in that. I won't go into all of them. So we are behind our original projected timelines as to when we would complete all of this. But we have taken certain decisions internally to increase the pace of the work. And that will involve China Harbour taking a more direct approach and direct responsibility. China Harbour is responsible for the entire project, but they will get more involved in the actual execution of the works on the ground. So their involvement in the day-to-day execution of these packages will increase. This is not to say that we have not had situations where the local contractors have performed above and beyond expectations. We have situations like that where contractors have performed over and above and are taking on more work. But as well, on the other end of the scale, we have a situation where some contractors have not performed according to expectations. But we have taken decisions, executive decisions, that will impact the actual delivery of the road and the infrastructure. And I'm expecting that within the next 8 to 12 months, within the next year, this project should be brought substantially to what is called practical completion. Now, as you drove along the road, you would have observed again massive infrastructure being put in place. Before we have done any roads, I was very impressed with the level of drainage that is put in place. And after we're finished here, you can just look to give the country an understanding of the level of infrastructure undertaken. Right over here, behind your cameras and see. These are massive drains being put in place. This area is prone to flooding. And so the investment cannot only be in the blacktop of the road, meaning the surface of the road. It has to be in the drains and the other infrastructure, the retaining walls to protect the road. This is an investment that will last for 100 years. You won't have to look back at it. But right across there is the first phase of works in the Morant Bay town centre. It has taken us a little while to get it going, but these kinds of undertakings are not things that materialize with the snap of a finger. They won't materialize in a year. We're literally building an entirely new town on 25 acres of land expanded by the purchase of the people. Jamaica has not built a town in over 100 years. That we have not, as a government, as a country, say, okay, we're going to build this town. We've done Portmore as a community. We've done other communities, but we have not, in a while, built a town. Of course, we have developed urban centers in New Kingston and downtown Kingston. But to actually build a town, we have really done, and we're doing it here. This is the test case as to whether or not we can now go around Jamaica and build cities and towns, urban centers that will become a magnet for economic development and social opportunities for people. So it has started. It is going very well. I believe we will have an opportunity to peek our cameras in and see the progress that is being made here. Now there is an intersection between the urban development and the roadway. that intersection has to be seamless. They have to work together. The urban center won't work if people can't access it. And so, even though we're doing this roadway, and as you look at it, you can immediately see that it is not going to be sufficient to take traffic into a fully operational urban center that has a port, police station, bank facilities, educational facilities, BPO operations. So we will, in the near future, have to redesign the entrance into the town so that it is seamless. So you want to avoid things like a traffic light that will, put a halt to the flow of traffic. So we are contemplating what you would have heard before is the grade separated interchange. So meaning you would go down a level and enter, or above a level and enter. And so that is being designed now to ensure that what we are investing in here in terms of a road can actually seamlessly carry traffic and custom into the urban center. Now, I want you to think about what we're doing. We are improving the roadway from Harborview intersection, and that will be a 4-lane highway. And then we are improving from Albion, the road surface itself, we're putting in infrastructure. So that means the airport, the Northern Man International Airport, is now almost seamlessly connected to this urban center. But so too is the town of Morant Bay. So the developments that will come are not just the urban center, but we also have plans for the whole township of Morant Bay, which has many historical assets there, which we intend to develop. So we intend to develop tourism, not in the same form as we have tourism on the north coast. It's a different form of tourism, more to do with heritage, more to do with the cultural assets of the area. And remember now, we have made an investment in Port Royal, where cruise ships can come in, and we have been having small cruise ships coming in. So if you take the two things together, you have the asset of an airport, we now have the facilities to host cruise ships. You can have home porting here, and you can have now a stream of visitors that can go seamlessly into the area. At this facility, this is now the urban center, the Morant Bay Urban Center. All the space that has been designated for business process outsourcing operations have been already built. So they intend to locate operations here. So you can see that there will be traffic coming from Kingston here. But as you're driving along and you're seeing the road open, you would also see that there are lands unutilized. And already we are getting inquiries, and people are applying for approvals to build houses along this corridor. So opening up this corridor is doing an incredibly good thing for the people of St. Louis. I know it is a struggle as it is right now. I know there is dislocation and at times incredible frustration, but it is for the good. It is not an excuse, sorry. And I repeat it again, that we will ensure that the dislocation that is coming is mitigated and in the directions already. I've seen it in action, and I will stick out my feet on that it is not just in action for weeks, but it becomes standard practice to ensure that simple things like wetting the road is done, ensuring that people have seamless access to their property. The issue of signage, Mr. Hunter, was raised, and I can imagine driving on a road like this, if you are not familiar with it, you could run into difficulties. So signage is important, and again, I wish to repeat that we will be working on a strategy to ensure that there is at least one lane, that the surface is in drivable condition, where the roads have to be totally scattered.
Mr. Prime Minister.
The project is a 3-year project, but I'm sure it will be completed long before. My understanding is it is on track. Remember, it was delayed for almost 2 years because of it. But the project is on track.
Yeah, what extent have delayed affected the cost? And Mr. Hunter, you can answer that as well.
The
What
cost of
extent
this
has-
project?
Of the project.
Allow Mr. Hunter.
Yeah. Has delayed affected the cost of the project?
There's not been a significant increase in project cost delay, largely because the project is denominated in US dollars. There has been, as I mentioned before, and it's important that this be understood, the original contract was a road-only contract. After discussion with the government, the decision was taken to completely redo the project, and it is now what we consider to be a full infrastructure project. You'll get a road at the original price, but you will now get the water supply, which at last count that was an additional $97 million US dollars for water supply. And the water supply, not only you have the water pipes and fittings, but they are also outfitted with hydrant all the way from Harborview to Portland Road. So we will get that. We have also added the ducts for the fiber optic cable. You would have seen some black wires coming out of the ground. That's the fiber optic cable to extend this footprint. So initially, there was not the Jersey barrier in that first section. Again, that's something that we had discussed with the government, and there was a variation to the contract. I think that one was about an additional $5 million US dollars at the Jersey barrier along the first section. And again, we thought that was a good expenditure for safety. So I think we will be coming out nothing more than probably a 7% of original plan. Because as I said before, we're denominated in US dollars. Most of the material are local.
Mr. Prime Minister.
One quick one.
Mr. Prime Minister.
Can you identify yourself, sir?
Big Super from Eastern St. Thomas. What the plan for the farmer them in the Eastern St. Thomas? Because them are complaining about the banana and the sugar and the cane.
Very good question, Big Super. I will ensure that the Minister of Agriculture responds to you. But having said that, I paid close attention to the onion farmers. I watched their interviews and I read the reports, and the Minister of Agriculture did come to Cabinet and he gave a substantial explanation as to the challenges that they face. First of all, I'm very happy to see that our onion production capacity is increasing and that our local farmers are producing more. It exposes the common challenge of agriculture in Jamaica, and that is the incorporation and integration of technology into agriculture. They face challenges with they face challenges with ensuring that they have facilities to ensure the onion is dry, the humidity doesn't affect their output. And then again, another problem with agriculture in Jamaica is the ability to even out prices, and that's one of the challenges they face. So they have this massive amount of output, but of course they would want to have their prices stable. And the Minister of Agriculture is working on both to support the farmers to ensure that they get a good price for their output, that they continue to produce, and that the technologies such as drying facilities and storage facilities are made available to them. We're gonna make something out of it. You know, I'm asked.
Sorry, sir.
Roselle, that's a little place
That's
on the
perfect.
roadside.
All of those stories were couple stories. As you can see,
Okay.
this is interesting.
the right other leg there a while ago. You never see? Oh,
Good, gentlemen.
right.
So you was the barging in today. You sure? Sure. Oh, not yet.
That is.
Okay. So what they have explained back they're up on the left. Well, I speak very loudly. On the left side, my understanding, you can take your pictures, is that the NCB commercial banking section is out of the ground.
Probably this building.
This first on our left. There's a batching plant which is now up, the cement batching plant, which allows the project to roll out at a huge pace. On the right, you're going to have the municipality building and the courthouse, and those have started. So for us in the community of the East St. Thomas, West St. Thomas, once we see that level of growth, and we believe it's going to be finished and development, once we believe that that will be finished within a year, within a year, next year this time, we will have those 3 facilities. That's a huge improvement. Prime Minister, let's not forget your speech in Parliament. You have now talked about the new Morant Day, a museum going in, and the importance of that, the cultural centre. An entertainment centre has already been started to be cleared at the back of this. Where one of our major artists of the East, Popcorn, has announced he's coming here December. Based on the road development and where the road will be by December, 9 months time, we believe it will be easy to put on a show. So we are all happy.
This is a rendition of what is coming here. As I said, we're just giving a peek because we're dealing with the road, not the urban center. But as you can see, they have started to clear, the site is cleared, and they have started to come out of ground from this point.
All that's there is just the people.
It's the paving town. So
Which is the easy
coming
part.
out now. So within the town of Morant, you would be close to paving within the next 3 to 6 months.
Long before that.
In the next 4 months. So for the people having driven through the town just a while ago, you can see that there has been significant dislocation. So I would say to the residents, based on the advice from the NWA and the contractor, that within the next 3 to 4 months, they should be in a position to pave the road. We are at a section now, which is just in front of the hospital, where they have already completed paving. All they are doing now is just to make sure that the underground infrastructure that is there, pipes and so forth, and there will be no need to dig them up, so that means there is no leak. So they have tested, and so this section of the road, you could say, is practically complete.
But to me, what I've told the person within this crisis, since I'm not from here, we have to suffer short-term gain for long-term.
Yes, that's a general, as I said, part of our progress. So there, during the period of time when things are being done to improve the conditions, there will be some dislocation, but it will only be short-term because the benefits, as you said,
Short-term consequences. for long term.
For long term. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Champion.
What's your name?
Administrator.
My
Thank you
name
so
is
much.
Nadine Anderson Lawrence.
Champion again.
Anderson hyphen
My
Lawrence.
CEO is not here.
No, no, hi.
Hey guys.
Anderson
High
Lawrence.
five.
Thank you for having me.
Very good.
As you can see, a significant difference, and our residents of St. Thomas Eastern especially are very excited and happy to welcome them here to take over the majority of the work.
And then right here, I know this was recently paved, that's what they said. Before that, it was just, what was going on in this space right here?
Well, ironically, right here is the exact spot that caused me to go into Parliament 2 days later and really ask for a check to take over. I was at that church behind you at a funeral, and the dust was so bad, the dust nuisance. And the doctors were calling me. There was dust behind their mask, and the patients were having a problem. And so this is exactly the spot that caused me to request for a check to take over the majority of the work. So I'm happy to stand here today, just a few months later, to see that right here is completely paved, and the majority of the hard work here that would cause all the dust and all the nuisance is gone. So we're happy about that.
And the Prime Minister gave they just gave a 4-month timeline for the entire Morant Bay right there to be paved. And so, what do you think your constituents will be saying?
Well, I think my constituents will be extremely excited. I must let you know that the delay for Church Corner and that area coming down was because of the pipelines. Initially, they didn't have in the project to put new piping, but when they noticed that new piping was needed because there were some old pipes that were breaking, they had to reevaluate it, and that slowed down the process. New pipelines are there, they're already tested, and we are getting ready to pave in just a few more months. So you'll be happy. Just bear with us just a little bit longer. We are trying to wet the road as much as possible in that section. So bear with us just a little bit longer, and we should be paved in the next 3 to 4 months. Thank you.
You know, every time you do residents, you give a little bit back to the
You'll get part of it today, but tomorrow.
Can you imagine? This goes forward? The leg going into the Morant. No, I mean, what it is, this is what we use, this behind the
It's a brilliant project, laid out brilliantly. And I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, here.
The right side. So you have 2 contractors for Morant. Altar, which is the big one there. And then you had Robinson.
Yeah, here.
I agree.
That's great ingenuity. They got one shot the boss. I lose more than East Portland, they got one shot the boss. Yeah, take a minute. Turn on the camera.
I love that.
Great ingenuity, man. The best thing no government before. Love that. Bless up.
No, but you can't.
Turn on the camera.
So that we know say it's not a real one. Bless. Come let me go get my curry goat.
Wow, me and the PM. God bless.
No man, it's alright. Don't give me that one.
Special one. Where's the special one?
They said this one's special. No problem.
This ingenuity.
Oi.
You must approve our development.
Sorry. Hey.
I was so young.
Yes, you come around the side now. Yeah, what's your
Drive down come down the landau.
Yeah.
C'est quoi, Kevin?
Tanisha, hope you sleep good tonight.
Oh, am I on that door?
Channel, guys.
Klarityflex Jamaica. There is a video. Sorry, man.
Okay, I can't share the food. One more. One more now. You have shoe ticket? You want food? Yes, here I have the plate right there, so.
Hold on. Yeah,
Thank you.
Hello. Did you get something to eat?
I'm okay. Yeah.
See the valley next.
Okay, yeah. Bring it. All right, boss.
I realized that there is a camera. You cut your brother. Call my name.
Whoa.
Sorry.
You have learned from this project that you can take on bigger one and more basic.
Audio.
Thank you.
What water with me?
Of course, I said I wasn't
You want?
My name is Sasuke.
Sasuke what?
Please. And I am very pleased to see what I've done and the rest of the community.
So where we are now?
We are at New Monkland.
New Monkland?
as large as this one, where the government has had to connect and build back connectivity, put back retaining walls so we could re-establish the roadway. And that's all complete now. So, and the pipelines are in. So all we're waiting on now is the carpet, the blacktop. But we are very happy and we believe a lot of work has been done.
Look here, you see me on the edge and you look like you want. When we talk about the South Coast Road Improvement Project, most people would associate the works to be following on the coastline of St. Thomas going into Portland. But it is not quite well known that there is a leg of the work which branches off of the coastal road and heads into the interior of the parish, way up into the hills. And we are now in Trinityville.
Trinityville to Cedar Valley.
Heading up the Cedar Valley. In 2016, I toured this area, and it was clear that the people felt that they were forgotten. Now, there are many communities like this, considered to be rural areas, where they had parochial roads. Those roads were never built to carry major traffic, and they weren't built to carry the infrastructure which we consider to be standard and basic. So they didn't have water mains, they didn't have anything for telecommunications, and they certainly didn't have anything for central sewage. And they weren't built with drainage in mind, because they weren't built for a time to accommodate the number of residences that now exist. People have moved into these areas and they have significant population. And they have some industry as well. They have agriculture, that's major industry. So they felt neglected. And I can, as I said before, there are many communities like that. But when we toured, we made a commitment that we would put some resources in the area. Now, having already approved the South Coast Road Improvement Project, and we decided that we would do the section that is heading to Manchester, and we're doing the section where we are now heading to St. Thomas, through St. Thomas and into Portland. We also decided that we will deal with some of the local roads. This is one leg of the local road. The works are more advanced here than they are on the coast. So you would have driven on roads that are already complete coming up. But as you can see, that some of these local roads, these smaller roads, community roads that are leading into rural districts, require massive infrastructure. And I just want to point out one such infrastructure work that is being done in a rural community. If you look, you will see gabion baskets here, which are being used for river training and as retaining walls. And you can see that the works start all the way down there with the river training to ensure that the river does not threaten the road, which it did before and cause this massive breakaway. If you pan your camera a bit, you will see that this road was in danger of being totally eroded. So we have done the work to put in the gabion baskets, to do some terracing, and to do a retaining wall. And you just need to visualize it to see the level of work that is being done. When we are finished, coming from the coastal road heading right up into Cedar Valley, the people here will have water mains, which will carry regular water supply. The NWC is working on ensuring that those mains are connected into regular water supply. And they will have a road that is sufficient to carry the traffic in this area, including agricultural products and other goods and commodities that require heavy transportation. They will also have some amount of access to fiber optic cables, so internet connectivity here will be improved. And I think that this is not just a massive investment in infrastructure, it is an investment in people. The people here certainly appreciate the fact that they are now given water and they will now have proper roadway. It will also spark greater investments. People will start to say, you know what, I I probably should now fix up my house or build a home nearby, or it will itself become a magnet for investment in the community. You will notice that as we came up the hill, we passed through about 3 or 4 small towns, and those are also being improved with the drainage, sidewalk, just to make those small rural townships more livable and functional.
That'll be right. All right. Remember I talked to you one time when little girl, when the kid that little girl?
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk to you in the morning. All right.
I mean, I'm coming up, there's a lot of debris still on the road, but the finish.
We're happy to have the Prime Minister of Jamaica in St. Thomas touring the St. Thomas leg of the South Coast Highway. He got a chance to look at the urban center. He got a chance to speak to some of the nurses at the Princess Margaret Hospital. And we're happy to show him the progress, show him the problems that we're having, and just welcome him to St. Thomas. I'm glad to have you guys here to tape it all. Thank you.
All right, I'll see what can be done with that. I know there is a clinic nearby.
Yeah, I'll see the button.
Yes, so there should be a doctor there.
Yeah.
I don't know if he does community visits, but I'm going to find out and hear. All right, and your situation should be a little better now because the road is near completion.
Yeah, and what we need, the people them from Mangoro need the water sources up there.
Well, that is quite possible now because we have the water main here that is carrying a good volume of water, so we could probably bring it up to that community. I'll investigate it. But you have water here now?
Yes.
Good, very good. All right.
Enjoy the rest of the day.
And I totally, I hope so too.
Yeah. Please give your love to your mother and family for me.
I definitely will. And I totally enjoyed your beautiful, natural environment.
Thank you.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right.
What's your name? My name is Miss Odlin Argil from Western.
Sir. Respect. Sorry. You're one of the ones on the road, right?
I call a ball like man and him
oversee. Let me hope you are in the best of health. This is Miss Odlin Argil from Cedar Valley, St. Thomas.
How old are you, Miss Argil?
I am 59.
You are 59?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, take care, alright?
Yeah. And you have a nice day.
You too, Miss Argil.
God guidance with you.
Bless you.
Yeah.
Take care, yeah?
I'm